Today I have with me an inspiration and a friend who has always taken giant and courageous steps to live her passions. She has in turn become a singer-songwriter, a dancer, a musician, and of recent a world explorer. I'm envious. She's a true believer that we can do what we love if we put our minds to it, and anything is possible. And of recent, she has created herself a lifetime adventure. So to start this video, first I'd like to introduce you to Daniela Malozzi, who has recently undertaken some very large, courageous world travelling of recent last 2 years. But for our audience, can you share with us, exactly what you've been doing?
About 2 years ago, I made a decision to follow one of my biggest passions, which is to be in the sunshine. And to make that happen, I changed my whole life. I sold my car, my music, I sold piano, I sold clothes, I sold half of my mortgage to the person I was living with, and I fulfilled my dream and headed off to sunny Mexico, where I spent 1.5 years of my life. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience.
Okay, I'm just totally envious just listening to her right now. It's just for me it's inspiring because I just love people who follow their passion, just go out there and do it, And this is what Creative Flow Evolution is all about, is actually encouraging people to do what they really want in life, because it all happens. What I'm really interested to know from you is that, what first inspired you to actually go ahead and, to a certain degree, just go out there and live it?
It's a great question actually, Paul, because it is really all about that first step into the unknown. Because we only know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. So we tend to live in a space of security, a box of comfort, if you like. Call it the comfort zone. I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. So what starts to happen is when you move from a place of stillness and calm into a place of something that could feel a little bit traumatic or vulnerable or uncertainty, when you step into that, or step out of that box, as it were, the darkness has to move from one form to another. Yeah. So from the place of fear of what do I do if I sell my mortgage, and what do I do without a car, and I need all these clothes. When I moved from that space into what is it I actually really want to do, without asking how to get there, just deciding on that which I want, everything kind of fell into place in the most magical way, is the only way I can express it. I was in control of the decisions and choices I made, but the way it fell into alignment seemed to be something that I was connecting with on a more deeper level.
It's good that you're saying that, because alignment is what it's all about. It's because what I personally believe, and I'd like to share with you as well as people watching, is that I believe that when we pursue our true passions in life, like unstoppable creative machines, with consistency of everyday action, eventually life appears to synchronize itself with your own intentions in a way that the universe throws over those little golden nuggets of opportunity to say that here you go, you can grow yourself in this direction because you've chosen to. So in light of that, what we've spoken about, I'm glad you shared it with us now, is what actually started happening for you once you stepped onto that plane? When you stepped on the plane, when it started for you, the journey, how did things synchronise towards you actually pursuing that path?
Like I said, magical is the only word I can use, because it describes something that might not necessarily be tangible or logical for you to actually explain or understand. From the moment I made the decision to move into a place of sunshine and to move out of a place of what I deemed to be society's limitation box, the freedom I received from selling all of my household loving goods, if you like, opened up a place of opportunity for me. From the moment I pressed send on that ticket on Google to that first country that I went to the moment I stepped onto the plane, a bit like the Celestine Prophecy, which I will say, because that was the first book that I read years ago that actually opened my awareness to the fact that each decision is intricately intrinsically linked to the universal response to each and every one of us, as we are all energy. So whatever energy you summon, you feel, you conjure up within yourself, there's a natural universal law that has to come into alignment with you. So if we feel like we're in a place of receiving, if we're in a place of gratitude,
Sure.
guess what, Paul? We're going to get more reasons to feel like we are grateful. We're going to get more reasons to be in that place of gratitude.
Yes.
If we feel envious, if we feel angry, if we feel sad, hurt, then we'll receive more things to keep us into that place of alignment.
Certainly. And I think I totally agree with you, because actually what you just said to us about being grateful about what we want, and this is a really interesting subject, and again, you know, I'm being inspired. I mean, I know Daniela, but every time I hear her talk about your stories, my heart lifts. You know, I feel the freedom of energy inside her, just the way she speaks. So the thing is about, you know, manifestation and law of attraction. Again, it's about when you connect to your true passion, your purpose to a certain degree, because your purpose was, we believe, you to go out and explore the world. And when we do things like that, we learn so much about ourselves.
It also opens up more opportunity for you to learn more about yourself. For example, I decided to go travelling. From that decision, then came my next opportunity of meeting an immense amount of different people from different walks of life and different cultures, who each introduced me to something that I may never have experienced in my hometown that I was living in Purley. And each opportunity then led me to another experience. So I was singing, I was creating my passion, as Paul was saying about music. I was singing with a live band in Mexico, one of the famous bands in famous bars in downtown, in the hotel zone in Cancun. Something I could not have imagined while sitting in my room looking at my vision board. You know, an image of Daniela singing somewhere, but I didn't know where, when, how or why. But it happened because I believed that that would be possible, and I brought that into my manifestation, into my reality.
You see, yeah, that's again another, well, you mentioned that belief. It's all about belief, isn't it? That
An intention, belief and intention.
Belief and intention, totally right. Now, belief only becomes when you take action. You know, we can sit back, visualise, dream, do this, that and the other. And we could do that forever if we wish to.
But we can't achieve or attain happiness outside of ourselves. So you can create a vision board and put it on your wall. A vision board is a wonderful way to start your passions and your creative flow, as it were. Because that vision board actually brings into your physical existence that which you desire. And you can go mad with this board. You can be as creative as you desire. You can make it as colourful, full of words, images, pictures, whatever is something that you would like to draw into your reality. But it's not, is it just enough to have the board on the wall and just to look at this board for a year every day like I did before I started that adventure? No, it's not enough, because looking at it has to have a connection and a feeling inside you, which is exactly what I had. I believed each of those experiences were true, and I imagined the feelings that would come with that.
Yes. And but what really creates it, I mean, the visualization, the goal setting, which is vision boards, and the belief that, you know, there is a dream there. But what really sets the pace is actually taking action.
First step.
Yeah. The first step, regardless if it's a small step, if you buy the shoes to go travelling, if you buy a raincoat to go to your jungle.
I think that's what I first did, actually.
That's a good guess, isn't it? It's these things that actually create the belief inside of you. You know, the belief that you're doing something about it, because that what actually happens is that the energy holds them inside you. Once action you take holds a certain energy, and the more you build up that energy through the action, you're creating what you truly want. And for me, I know I've chosen to interview Daniela because what she has achieved in the last few years is amazing, miraculous. To a certain degree, she's attracted a lot more than she's talking about now. And it's for me always inspiring to meet people such as her. For our audience, can you share with us, you know, what your hot tips for those who wish to pursue a passion that they've always wanted to do and they just want to make that first step?
Excellent question. What makes me different to anyone else? When I looked at somebody who was achieving that which I desired, I asked the same question. I said, why do they have something that I don't, or what? And it is in that question, actually. Instead of asking why do they have something I don't, you change your perspective of that question, if you like, and you ask, how can I achieve that which they have achieved? How can I manifest that into my reality? And the simple fact is, we are all the same. We are all energy flowing at different rates and different vibrations and different frequencies. So you first of all need to decide what you want to create and draw into your reality. What feels right for you. That's the first step. And a vision board goes hand in hand with that. It's fantastic to visualize, to draw something that you can visually connect to on a daily basis. So if a vision board works for you, go for it. It might be going on a course. I attended a very fantastic, completely non-religious, non-spiritual, very in the middle of the road landmark course. Might not work for everybody, it worked for me. That was a very big stepping stone that enabled me to define what my commitments were, what I thought my commitments were, and what I wanted my commitments to be. Simple exercises can open up an amazing awareness within us. So the first step needs to come from you. Yeah. Research on the internet different ways to create your own flow and to achieve your dreams and to manifest your dreams into reality. My advice would be to create a vision board, and from that vision board, trust that everything you desire, see and want, you will have fulfilled in your life. That's the very first step, the vision board.
Awesome.
And take the step into the darkness, because once we create an empty space, anything is possible.
Exactly, and the darkness, yeah, it throws fears to us because it's just the unknown, and what we don't know, we fear. But the challenge with that is that our own creative selves can overcome that, because creativity is always stepping into the unknown. So that's what Creative Flow Evolution is all about, finding our own creative flow and to do what we truly passionately want to do in life. So I really thank you, Daniela, because you've shown such great inspirational information. I'd love to have more interviews with you, but she's going on travelling again.
I'm creating another flow, but can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
Creative flow it's a generic thing that we all have. But like I said, you know, don't feel bad or put pressure on yourself if you're not flowing as much as you thought you were or think you could be. You can and you will when that decision and time is right for you. So just take that first step and don't think you're any worse, better, or in any way different from anybody else. You have every single opportunity and ability available to you. It's waiting for you in that beautiful vortex of the law of attraction. Dive right in.
Awesome. Thanks again, Daniela. It's been wonderful to interview you.
Thank you.
And I thank
I'll be back after my next adventure.
Yeah, well,
Tell you more.
she's going to Australia for a year or two, something like that.
Who knows?
Who knows, exactly. And I might have to interview her with Skype, perhaps, get more information to learn about her experiences and what she's manifested as a result. But again, you know, listening to Daniela, again, saying that, it gives me the courage again that we can pursue what we want in life. We can do what we dream about.
Love what you do and do what you love.